Next up, a team that keeps finishing just short because their ownership doesn't give a crap. George Kirby is hurt, shut down with a shoulder issue. GM Justin Hollander talked about it. Here he is.
All right. First injury update, unfortunately, of camp. George Kirby has not been feeling great after his outings. In the outing, he's throwing the ball well, same velocity as you would expect. He just hasn't felt like he's bouncing back great. We did an MRI. MRI looks great. No structural concerns whatsoever, and I will repeat that, 0 structural concerns. There is some inflammation in there that we need to get out. So much to George's chagrin, we're going to take the ball out of his hands. George wants to keep going, and he's going to lose this argument. We need to get the inflammation out. So we will shut George down and work on getting the inflammation out. This is more like a week-to-week thing than a day-to-day thing. We just want to make sure we're doing the right thing. Wow. Sorry. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the big picture of the whole season as opposed to worrying about opening day. George will likely start the season on the IL just with not having pitched a full buildup of spring. We don't think this is anything long-term concerning whatsoever. Again, no concerns with a structural issue. We just want to make sure we're doing the right thing. So we will reassess a week from now and see how the inflammation looks and see how he's feeling, and we'll go from there.
If you're listening later on, he said, wow, because the lights went off for a second, probably because their owner forgot to pay the bill on purpose and then quickly figured it out, since their biggest move in the offseason was Donovan Solano, and they just assume, AJ, that their perfect set of 5 in their rotation is just going to be healthy every single year and get them close enough to 54%. So how much does this hurt when it's a dude that not only is one of the best starters in baseball, but also goes deep into games and helps the bullpen out?
I agree. This is a big one. As much as we talk about Cole being a big one, this is a big one for the Mariners. And my question is I don't know who that was. Who was that? Was that the trainer giving the update?
No, it was the GM.
No,
The
that's
GM?
Justin Hollander. He's the GM. He's the minion for Dipoto.
Or Dipoto, sorry.
Yeah.
My question is if there's no structural damage, then why is he
sore?
Why is he sore? I don't understand. I know there's inflammation in there, but shoulders, you never want to hear shoulders. Shoulders are bad. I mean, when guys have shoulder surgery or shoulder problems, it takes a long time. Elbows are elbows, but shoulders are a different thing. You don't want to see this in a guy like George Kirby. We want him back because I want to see him pitch. I love watching him pitch. And if you're a Mariners fan, you need him back because these 5 guys pitched almost every start last year for you. You need those 5 guys to be incredible again if you have a shot in that division.
But if you have a shot in the division, because they did not get anybody to bolster their offense, you have to rely. And if anybody puts the Mariners 5, probably is the best rotation in baseball. But if one
over
of those
the Dodgers?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe with stuff.
Over the Dodgers?
Maybe with stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe with stuff. But you figure if you
Yamamoto, Sasaki, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snow.
Tyler Glasnow has, I love the good injury problems. Yamamoto, second year. We don't know what
I'm just saying stuff-wise.
going to do.
I'm saying stuff-wise.
Listen, okay, let's say in the American League. Best
okay, there you
in the
go.
American
There you
League.
go.
All right, you're the one that's always calling me a homer. I'm trying not to be. But my point is, you can't imagine that you're going to go through an entire season with all 5 of your guys healthy. Now, George Kirby goes down with inflammation, but he's sore. Who knows if it's going to – I mean, Hollander did say there's no structural damage. But if you're going to win in the AL West, you're going to have to pitch because they don't have the offense. If anything else happens to one of their starters, they're going to be at the bottom of the division, except for maybe the Athletics.
A's are going to be good this year.
You think?
A's are my sneaky pick to be pretty good this year. Just saying, they're my sneaky pick.
Alana's a Rockies fan. She's not a Dodgers fan. She's a huge Colorado Rockies fan.
Her blue pants say something different. Trust me.
Okay.
And the hug she received when she walked in here today, it was like I walked in. It was like I walked in with magic.
A big deal.
It was like I walked in with Magic Johnson today. I walked in with her. I waited to go in the clubhouse with her, and when we walked in, the look on these players' face, and forget the players, the clubhouse guys, the media guys. I mean, everybody that saw her was like, "Oh my gosh, biggest hug." Meanwhile, to me, they're like,
"Not true. That's not true."
Wait till you go to Salt River. Wait till you go to Salt River. It's gonna be
that's tomorrow.
It's gonna be unbelievable out there. Unbelievable. But here's my issue. If he has no structural damage and he has soreness in there, one of the things that and maybe some pitchers can tell me I'm wrong on this one, but when your shoulder hurts, your command goes. This is a dude that has walked like 22, 23, and 19 guys in full seasons the last 3 years. Like, he is a guy that has incredible command. I'd hate to see him come back and say, well, there's nothing structural. I got to pitch through it. And then his command starts to go, because he's still a relatively young pitcher, and you don't want him to rush back, but they need him to rush back. So I guess it's good they didn't trade Luis Castillo too.
That's right. So their rotation right now is Logan Gilbert, stud; Luis Castillo, solid, although not a 1 anymore; Bryce Miller, very good; Brian Wu, super, super stud, but also very injury prone. Emerson Hancock has not been good for them. Yeah, of course, with Wu, but also
super limited.
You're saying injury-wise, he's
innings-wise,
yes.
They've been very, very careful with him.
Yes, he's been given kid gloves for now. Emerson Hancock, who's had 15 starts the last 2 years, 4.71 ERA. He hasn't worked out really, and that's in Seattle's ballpark. So factoring in obviously how that's the pitcher's ballpark, the best pitcher's ballpark in baseball. This team could be in some trouble. They literally, AJ, are going to have to score some more runs to get by here if Kirby's missing for a good chunk of time. And that's assuming that everybody else is intact. I looked after Hancock. There's really not major league ready starters at all. They are not deep in terms of starters. They are really thin with their farm system. They have a ton of great position players that are still a year or two away. So I feel like the timing's getting weird for this team. They just had these guys for their prime for 2 years. They maybe have them for another year or two. And then obviously some of them are going to leave because they're going to get more money elsewhere. Then their position players are going to come through. So they're not timing their winning window out by, of course, not going after it hitting wise.
But you're also assuming that the position players are going to either play over their skis or all have better numbers than they did last year. I mean, they didn't add anybody to that lineup to lengthen it at all. So you're, again, going to rely heavily on your starting rotation, who, as you mentioned earlier, Scott, Kirby was the only one that really went deep into the ball game to kind of save the bullpen. So, I mean,
Justin Turner said it. He played there. What else? Justin Turner, he doesn't say things that he doesn't mean, and he doesn't. But Justin Turner said it. What did he say? They didn't do anything, and I don't know why. And he even said, if I'm the only one they brought back, guess what? They messed up the offseason. Listen, if you would have had to trade Luis Castillo to get a bat or a bats with an S to help your team
with the
and
other
save money,
in your start,
you would have thought that. Yeah. But they didn't do that either, and now we'll see. But you made fun of the A's. The A's are my sleeper pick. I'm telling you. You made fun of the A's.
I know, my bad.
I'm telling you right now.
Sacramento
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be better than you think.
I hope so. The team, the players themselves, and Kotsay deserve that.
Agreed.
The fans deserve that.
Except for if they get to the playoffs, they got to come play here at Camelback Ranch. I don't know where they're going to play.
Every team in that division, besides probably the Mariners for sure, and maybe the Astros, were better. Are going to be better. The Angels are not great, but they should be better than last year. They actually did things this offseason. Even if they're not good, they're going to be better. A's should be better. Rangers should be better. Astros certainly aren't going to be bad. And then you've got the Mariners who did nothing and now are down a number 1 starter already to start the year. So
I mean, at least the A's spent some money, which is different than they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm. True. And they signed some dudes to extensions, which was awesome.
Yeah.
They're spending other people's money. They're spending other people's money because they have to.
But at least they're spending it. Well, there's another team that needs to, and they ain't spending it.
Yeah,
there's a team in Miami that has supposed to too, and they're not spending anything. So
all of Florida.